Alright, ladies and gentlemen, KR has dropped another patch. Today it's Friday, and they suddenly dropped this other patch, so I wanted to put out this video as soon as possible, as soon as I could. I assume they did this because, well, they said right here that they want that after dropping the Thursday patch, they wanted to review the parts not properly considered and proceed with additional patches on Friday. So I assume they put the Thursday one out, and they're just like, alright, let's look at this more strategically or how people reacted, and then we'll make a follow-up patch. So this is that. This is the first reaction. I haven't seen any of these things. So first up, Flame Geyser. It's buffed back. So the 392. This was the one from yesterday's video that you guys saw yesterday. So they rebuffed it from that, but I don't think it's still as much as it was before. I think it was 600 before. So maybe they're trying to meet in the middle here with this patch. It seems. Sandstorm got bumped up. Windmill looks like it got bumped up. Grand Cross looks like it got bumped up. Rising Slash buff. Sword Fire buff. Final Strike buff. Blade Circle. A little bit of nerf here, actually. A little buff here. So it seems like most of these are buffs, honestly, because I think too many people were disappointed that there were so many nerfs. And I said this yesterday. I said this isn't good to put a lot of nerfs because a lot of people will feel disappointed. So I think doing this one is really good because it's like, alright, everybody's getting rebuffed. Okay, so Aisha, Meteor Call buff. Meteor Shower buff. Frost Edge buff. Aging buff. Plasma Cutter buff. Plasma Cutter Change buff. Impact Zone buffed. That might be more actually than before, I'm not sure. But yeah, again, like I said, I'm going to do this really quickly because these all look like buffs. I'm trying to like watch it and go really fast too. Neck Strike buff, Sharp Fall buff, Gyro Kick buff, Kangolon, I'm not sure what this is, Kangolon. Looks like a buff, Ace in the Hole buff, Rage Fungus buff, Raven, okay, I'm going to put some real emphasis on Raven because I'm a Raven player. But here we go, Sword Taker, Divider. They got a little bit of a buff, thank goodness for Shockwave. I was saying that yesterday before little Shockwave. Bloody Accelerator got damage back again. It wasn't even a big deal that this was low damage, but the fact that they increased it is good. A Giga Dry Limiter buff. Shoot Up Genocide got the buff back, but it still doesn't have as much delay as before. They kept the delay the same. They just rebuffed it a little bit. Shaft Charge got a little buff again. Valkyrie Javelin is still both magical, but they buffed the damage a little bit, so maybe it's like double benefit here. Wild Charge buff, Power Knight, I'm not sure. This might be Power Bomb. This is Power Bomb. This is Power Bomb. So that's a buff. Okay, nice. Valkyrie Javelin, same as the other one. Ignition Crow Napalm buff. Okay, that's cool. So, Ifrit Flame. Okay, I was complaining about this a lot yesterday too, about Ifrit Flame being the only good veteran commander 300 MP, and they rebuffed it back, but I still don't think it's as much as before. I can't remember the numbers right now off the top of my head, but as a veteran commander, I'm satisfied, you know, anyway, because it's just like, I was complaining, I was complaining, but also veteran commander got quite a few buffs, like with the Spear and Ignition Crow Incineration, but now I got 2 more buffs with Napalm and Ifrit Flame, so, you know, I'm more happy, you know, and I think the Napalm one is like, overall, just like a lot more. Also, can I talk about the fact that Rage Hearts is called Lazy Hearts with this simple translator? Okay, whatever. Alright, Eve, Dimensional Guardian, buff, but a nerf to the end, like it seems. I'm not sure what this is, Rip Streaming, but it's a buff. Heaven's Fish Pressure, buff. Assault Buster, buff. Risen Pride, buff. Giga Stream, buff. Linear Divider, buff. Alright, blue, I think this is Chung. Interesting that they translated it as blue. Pandemonium, buff. I'm not sure what that is, but it's a buff. My piece? I don't know. Won't even try. Wonder Wall buff. Rage of Guardian buff. Rapid Guardian buff. Force Wonder Wall buff. Sharpshooter. Okay, so it's interesting to note that no wait, that comes later. Tactical Trooper. That's what I was thinking of. Sharpshooter Syndrome buff. Artillery Strike Quantum Ballista buff. Exciting Crash buff. Shooting Star buff and damage. Bombing Artillery buff. Heavy Field buff. Okay, this was gonna say before. That was Heavy Field. I thought it was gonna be. I was confusing Heavy Field with Tactical Field. Okay, so it looked like Tactical Field is the same, so it's still just Super Armor, so you can still get hit if you're holding down the field. So that was my most that's what I was thinking about the most with Chong. Anywho, those are just damage buffs. Shadow Knot. I think this is Shadow Weave. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is Shadow Weave. But that's a buff. I don't know any of these, but they all look like buffs. Suppression, I think this is Suppression Sacred of Venom. This buff. Buff. Like, these are like the hardest to translate. Take chloride? Like, what is this? Hello? Oh my gosh. Buff. Take chloride. Okay. Buff. Sure. Fox welcome. This is a passive. No, it's a skill, I think. Buff. So I don't know what any of these are, but I'm sure Babel will have them in a little bit for you our people. I'm so sorry. This is Elysis or Elysis. It's translator is calling it. Okay. Saber extinction buff. Blaze wing buff. Congestion buster buff. Blood falling buff. Now we got moving to add very small for Elysis. Interesting. Okay, add particle accelerator buff. Oh boy. Blade buster buff. Not sure what this is, but it's a buff. Force field for Mastermind got a buff. That's quite a chunky buff. Starfall got buffed. Oh, this is Force Starfall. Force Starfall got a buff, not the normal one, the Force buff. And Moonlight Breaker got a buff. Okay. Lulu and Seal or Luciel. Dread Cross got a buff. Eschaton normal. This is the normal Eschaton got a buff. Shadow Bolt got a buff. Twilight Judgment got a buff. Normal Magnetic Cannon got a buff. Reign of Chaos got a buff. Force Eschaton got a buff in both its initial hit, that by a lot, and the splash hits will get a little bit too. And a Nightmare for Diabla got a buff. Awesome. Now what? Rose or Rose. I think this is barbecue maybe? No, this is laser rifle. Oh, this is the same class. Okay. This is laser rifle buff. Aiming strike buff. Force laser rifle buff. First stings? I'm not sure what this is, but it's a buff. G118. Valkyrie. I'm not sure. But that's a buff. Oh, this might be freezing grenade. And this is pressure grenade? Yeah, okay. Freezing grenade buff. By a little bit. Pressure grenade buff. Viper shower buff. Mecha drop buff. But still not as much as it was before. Like, this is a 300 MP skill it's doing. 359, whatever. Force, Mecha drop, buff. And finally we have Ain here. Oh my goodness. Stormstalk, I think this is Stormstark. 800, so that's a buff. Chaos Field, a buff. And Vile Warp Flint got a buff. So those are all the things that got changed. These are all just skill changes, rebuffing some skills that were nerfed in the last patch. But even then, that's not all of them that were nerfed. So if you want to check back and see like, oh man, which ones got nerfed and which ones got buffed. And also, one more thing. Okay, so one more quick thing I want to bring up with you guys. The Babel and recent additional balance patch notes. These are not the ones I just read to you guys. These are some like extra ones they put out like late last night. I suppose it's still 222, so I just want to go over it super quick. And it's more damage changes, but it's the blaze step final. It's for both blaze steps: Final Strike, Shooting Star, Dread Chase, Flying Kite, Blazing Dance, and Starfall. Normal version: Ultimate Fury, Extreme Chaser, Maximum Strike, Force Magdonic, Force Quantum Bomb, Ethan Jar, Dremel Swordsmiths, Reflexation, and Abgrun. This is one of the big ones because I remember yesterday Abgrun's damage was like literally this, which is like lower than some actives. So they at least bumped it up, but they did also decrease the homing range. So still not the best, but it's not the worst either anymore. So you know, all you Espotasios don't need to worry that much. But yeah, also, so remember, because I didn't go by the I didn't go damage by damage this time. The 23 one, the one on the actual KR website that I read before, that's the most updated. So if something's different than it is here, then go by the one on the KR page. But yeah, that should be all for now. Again, like I said, it looks like they're rebuffing people, which is good. Because like we said before, nerfs cause people to be disappointed. Buffs cause people to be excited. So I assume the notion is, you know, they saw people getting disappointed that, oh man, we're getting all these nerfs. They're just like, okay, we can't do this to the player base. So they rebuffed a bunch of people just so people would be happy. And I hope you guys are happy. You'll be satisfied if you got rebuffed again. But it's interesting to see where they go from this. These are all just damage changes. But yeah, I will see you guys next time.